a knee, Allie, during the national anthem?
Well, if I'm Megan Rapinoe, I'm starting to reevaluate the method in which I'm trying to deliver my message, because if you read every headline, it's about, is she taking a knee? Is she not? What is U.S. soccer going to do in reaction? And it's not about the message she's trying to deliver. And it's clearly not about the U.S. team and her teammates.
Megan Rapinoe available off the bench for Jill Ellis's side. Let's get it back out live to Atlanta for the call of the game. Mark, Kat, and Tony.
Rob, thank you very much. And before we kick off, we're going to head straight down to the field. Jenny Taft is with United States head coach Jill Ellis.
Jill, as this new cycle begins for the national team, what are the expectations in facing the Netherlands tonight?
Well, they're a very good team. So, I think for me personally, the next time we get together is going to be where we really kick off and hit reset. So I think there's an opportunity for some players to show against a good opponent, see where we're at.
All right, thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
One another before, most recently in 2013. The captains Mandy Vandenberg and Carly Lloyd for the Netherlands and the United States respectively. And the center referee from Trinidad and Tobago, Crystal Sobers. Well, for the United States, the test is going to be a much more challenging one, as we talked about earlier. 9-0 against Thailand on Thursday night in Columbus. 3-0 5 minutes in. The Netherlands, a side that is ranked 12th in the world, and they have a lot to prepare for with Euro 2017 on the horizon.
Well, this is the test that you want to see for the United States. With all due respect to Thailand, the Netherlands are a top 15 program. They're looking for the Euros. They're starting to work on their fitness so they peak at the right time. For the United States, this is a reset, just like Jill Ellis said. But it is a time for players to show. And a lot of those players are out here tonight. How do they face against a tough Netherlands team, especially when mentally you're a bit fatigued coming off from 2.5, 3 years of training for the World Cup and Olympics.
Arjen van der Laan is the coach, taking over last summer after the Women's World Cup, a run that saw the Netherlands reach the round of 16. 8 wins, a draw, and 2 losses. And Tony, I thought it was very interesting. Earlier tonight, Carly Lloyd spoke with Jenny Taft, and Kat was just talking about fatigue. But Carly said, despite distractions, despite fatigue, and despite the fact that it's still a long way from the most significant matches as they prepare for the 2019 Women's World Cup, that's still way out on the horizon. But there is still a job that has to be done for all of these players. And we have kicked off. This is a first choice lineup tonight for the Netherlands, of course. And an early touch for Shanice van de Sanden. Dominic Janssen from Arsenal before Carly Lloyd could get a touch, and played back to Sari van Veenendaal. Los Geerts, their normal keeper, their number 1, has 109 caps and started in the World Cup in 2015, 3 of the 4 matches, and the Euros in 2009 and 2013. But Van Veenendaal will start tonight in goal for the Netherlands. We'll see if she plays the full 90 or if Los Geerts gets in for the second half. That's Janssen. Whitney Engen with the touch and absorbs a big collision.
Well, one thing that Coach Arjen van der Laan talked about from the Netherlands was it didn't matter their result tonight. What he wanted to see the most from his players was, do they play with pride? Do they play with passion for their country? And that's going to be a big test for them tonight. He said it didn't matter if it was 3-0, if it was 1-0. They just have to be representing their country in a way that he likes, and they want to keep moving forward for those Euros in 2017.
Given away here, and a back heel by Morgan. And cleared at center back by Vandenberg. And this is going to go past Becky Sauerbrunn, and it's picked up, and here's an early chance on goal, and the Netherlands has scored first. They strike with the goal by Shanice van de Sanden, beating Alyssa Nair off the long ball out of the back.
Yeah, this is a goal that shouldn't happen. This is a veteran defense that just got beat the same way they got beat in Sweden, with one ball that surprised them, that put a player in behind the defense. That can't happen. You saw Van de Sanden's speed, but still, this shouldn't happen. One long clear, take a look here. And then all of a sudden, Klingenberg's caught. Sauerbrunn doesn't have the pace, and a good finish past Alyssa Nair.
And you can also see in your screen there, Whitney Ingen's been dealing with a little bit of a hamstring. She does have that pace, but she's still not able to completely stride and help recover. It was a missed clear from Julie Johnston, and the cover just wasn't there because so many numbers were going forward. So a good early test for the United States to see who those leaders are that you talked about, Tony. Who will come and be that vocal leader and help this team get out of this 1-0 deficit?
Right, and you know, Mark, you started to say something. We didn't have time to talk about it, and Kat said the same thing. These are the games. Every coach wants to win every game, but these are the games where you learn about players. This Dutch team is trending better. And so the U.S. players, even though there's a lot of time, they've got to show their stuff today, along with the players from the Netherlands.
And the United States again in a bit of trouble defensively as Julie Johnston has to clear. This is the complete opposite of the storyline and how the game unfolded on Thursday night in Columbus. Remember, it was the United States grabbing a first-minute goal and 3 in the first 5 minutes. Carly Lloyd, Kristen Press, Heather O'Reilly in her retirement match also scored, and another chance in on goal. And sent over by Lieke Martens for the Netherlands.
And what you saw there was a little bit of just a 1-2 at the top of the penalty area, and it beat the U.S. defense, and Martens just put it over the top. She was under some pressure. Alyssa Nair came and closed the angle well, but that's 2 really good looks and 1 goal already for the Netherlands.
When we talked to Mandy Vandenberg yesterday, she talked about how the difference in this new coach from the coach they had in the World Cup was it's more dynamic, more interchanging, more with the ball offensively, and you saw that right there. So many different players and so many different spots on the field. The United States is just going to have to deal with that kind of movement in that attacking area.
We just saw something we expect to see a lot of tonight. You saw Megan Klingenberg really getting forward on that left-hand side for the United States, but lost it over the touchline for a throw for the Netherlands.
Jill Ellis wants Megan Klingenberg to get very high, utilize that width with Lindsey Horan tucking into the midfield a little bit more. And it almost, because of Whitney Ingen and her center back, she's typically a center back, it looks like a 3-back sometimes in that when they're in possession. So it's going to be interesting to see how quickly Klingenberg can get back, especially after that first goal.
Lieke Martens had that shot that went over a moment ago against Alyssa Nair. The goal for Shanice van de Sanden is her 8th internationally for the Netherlands and 28 caps, her 5th this year. Now a chance for the United States off the giveaway at midfield. Alex Morgan rolls it into the box and wide.
And this is it. It's just too many players from the United States that are ball watching. 3 players go to the ball, and only Julie Johnston is a little bit late following the player. And right here is Alex Morgan's chance, and she was just a bit too late in looking up and seeing Van Veenendaal off of her line, because Van Veenendaal was not quick getting back. If Morgan had shot a little bit quicker, she might have caught her, and obviously a little bit better executed.
Yeah, I think she was in 2 minds. She wasn't sure if she wanted to pass to Carly Lloyd on Lloyd's run or shoot, and she did something, you know, halfway in between.
Whitney Ingen with a touch. Ingen missed the match Thursday against Thailand, recovering from a hamstring injury that she suffered playing in the NWSL with the Boston Breakers. Ingen's 40th cap tonight. Johnston. Pressure for the Netherlands. Long ball out of the back by Ingen. Almost played right by the Netherlands to the feet of Carly Lloyd. Now Dominic Janssen picks it up. Tackle off her feet. Well done by Ali Long. 1 back by the Netherlands. Danielle van der Donk. 2nd minute goal. The Netherlands. The Orange Lionesses. Shanice van de Sanden is on the end of this ball coming down the right-hand side. She's the one who scored that 2nd minute goal. After a clean sheet was kept by Ashlyn Harris in goal on Thursday night with 4 saves. And van de Sanden got to the byline. This will fall for Van de Donk. Shot was blocked and picked up by the United States. Here's Sylvan Heath. Sends it out to the left to Lloyd. Carly Lloyd is step over. And Lloyd shoots, forces a save, a rebound, and Van Veenendaal back on top of it. Van Veenendaal kept it close, Tony.
Yeah, just as the U.S. has to be careful twice now The U.S. has gotten behind the midfield. Here you see Lloyd taking a shot. Good initial save. Good follow-up by Tobin Heath. But Van Veenendaal was quick to jump back on it.
You're right, Tony. This game is already so stretched. It's going to be interesting to see if it will remain this way for the full 90. But one of the things that the Netherlands are doing so well with is their pressure. They're pressing that back line, and we saw it against Japan earlier this year. How does the United States respond? It's been a struggle for them, and if the Netherlands can keep it up, it'll be interesting to see if the United States can adjust.
Falls for Miedema from Bayern Munich. Ali Long closed down Van de Donk. Talk about Louis Gertz, the #1 for the Netherlands, having 109 caps. But it's not like Van Veenendaal, who made a big save against Carly Lloyd a moment ago, is without experience. Tonight's her 25th cap. She's 26 years old. She plays at Arsenal. Long. Held it by Lindsey Horan at the halfway line.
And on the other side of the ball, it's a good test for Alyssa Nair. This is really one of the toughest games that she's been a part of against a team like this, where their shots will be crisp, their shots will be well struck. And now that she's gotten scored on, she needs to help lead that back line. She needs to help them adjust. They need to get a better presence from her going forward.
Here's the goal, just again, a long clearance. It beats Klingenberg. Sauerbrunn can't keep up with Van Sandenen, and it's in the back of the net. I think Nair came out, closed the angle, but it was just too well placed.
You can just see the speed from Van de Sanden on that right side. Klingenberg is not a slow player. Neither is Becky Sauerbrunn, but she is flying down that right side. She's a dangerous threat for the Netherlands.
Off the United States restart. Defensive header by Dominic Janssen. Now only as far as Ali Long. Lloyd trying to take it off the feet of Sharita Spitza, who has the most caps of anyone for the Netherlands coming into this match tonight with 121. Too long for Van de Sande, the goal scorer in the second minute. You guys were just talking about Alyssa Nair a moment ago, having the early goal scored against her. Jill Ellis said yesterday that for Nair, she's been training well, and all she needs right now, after proving herself in the NWSL, she was player of the month back in May with Chicago Red Stars, but what she needs right now is caps. The training has been good. The performance in the league has certainly been very impressive over the course of the 2016 season, but now it's a chance for more caps, as tonight is only her 8th.
All the goalkeepers in the U.S. system, with Hope Solo now at least temporarily, and I think many of us feel more than temporarily out of the picture, need to get caps. Let's see how Alyssa Nair responds to giving up an early goal. I think that's a great opportunity for her now to keep the USA in the game and, you know, give them confidence so that they can even up this game and maybe take a lead.
Ashlyn Harris has 9 caps after her appearance against Thailand on Thursday night. 8 of those are in friendlies. She did play in one of the World Cup qualifiers in the fall of 2014 against Haiti.
And Alyssa Nair needs more caps, but at the same time, she had plenty of opportunities to get them, but they kept playing Hope Solo and starting her in games that didn't necessarily matter, and those are the experiences that they missed out on with Alyssa. Now she's able to get this kind of experience, and she needs to be loud back there. She talked about how she wanted to be more consistent, and she wanted to be louder and more of a presence, and that's going to be key tonight because it is loud here in the Georgia Dome.
Tobin Heath on the right-hand side. Heath was 1v1 against Janssen. Janssen got help defensively. Ball sent across, headed into the box, looking for Carly Lloyd. Flag comes up. Flag is up. The near side assistant referee was on top of it very quickly.
Well, let's take a look. It's flighted in. Somebody gets a head on it, and you can see Lloyd comes from an offside position, clearly offside. Even on the second touch, she was still slightly offside. Good call by the assistant referee. but not popular here in the Georgia Dome.
Not in the least. A place, by the way, in 2014 where the United States played and defeated Russia 8-0. And the state of Georgia, as we know, has been very good to the U.S. women's national team. Between the hedges in the 1996 Olympics, Tony, 2 wins, the semifinals and the finals, en route to the gold medal.
Yeah, I don't think there were hedges. You mentioned that before. I think they took the hedges out to make the field wide enough. But yeah, fond memories, 20-year anniversary of that 96 Olympic gold medal. I met with Michelle Akers, who lives in just outside of Atlanta today, and that was a wonderful team, and they made me look good, believe me.
And it was controversial for Georgia fans about that hedges. And this is the foul. Van Donk comes from behind, takes out Tobin Heath before taking out the ball.
th minute. Whitney Ingen ready to restart play after the second foul against the Netherlands here in the opening quarter hour of the match. The long ball sent forward and flicked into the box by Lloyd, looking for Alex Morgan. Van Veenendaal reacts quickly.
Yeah, well done by Mandy Vandenberg, too, to hold Alex Morgan off the ball and allow an easy play for the goalkeeper.
Lindsey Horan rises and wins a header for the United States. Down goes Lloyd, foul given.
Is it a talking to, or is it colorful? Just a talking to Decker this time. Ball's in play.
And here's Morgan. Alex Morgan on her left foot. And played out for a corner. Last touch by the Netherlands. The United States will have their first corner.
And I like the quick short corner there. A lot of times the United States is known for setting up, getting their bodies, their targets in there, but they caught the Netherlands off guard.
But right now, Tobin Heath is wide open at the top of the 18.
Morgan Bryan is ready to send in the corner from Van Veenendaal's right.
Every U.S. player except for Tobin Heath is inside the 6.
It's sent out to Heath, right at the top of the 18-yard box. And a shot sent in was blocked by Vandenberg. And way out to play it is Alyssa Nair. Sends it into the box. It's going to fall at the top, and the flag comes up again. Second time that they will be disappointed here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta.
But I think it is the correct call. But good confidence by Alyssa Nair there, Kat. She had the ball. She didn't just panic, knock it out of bounds. She held it. She delivered in a difficult ball, and the U.S. ended up getting a shot that went in, but it was after a foul was committed. Here's a good look at Alyssa Nair.
Yeah, I liked it. She could have easily played it the simple path, but there were so many bodies in there already from the corner kick. She decided to go for it, and without the foul, the United States had a lot of players in and around the ball. But I also like the Netherlands. They've caught the United States twice now offside, and it's their discipline in the back four. Now the United States has to discipline themselves a little bit more, getting back quicker, making sure they're even with the line, and that's a good sign, because we talked to Coach van der Laan of the Netherlands, and he said that this week they specifically worked on defending, while next week and going forward into the Germany game at the end of October, they're going to work more offensively. So you can tell that they've been working very hard, and it's improving for the Netherlands.
Yeah, and they're happy that Stephanie van der Graat is walking off, because she was down for a while. Here's the play.
And that's Allie Long.
Yeah, it wasn't offside. I think it was just a foul.
And it involved, as Tony said, Stephanie van der Graat going down. Her 32nd cap for the Netherlands, 24 years old, as you saw a moment ago. She plays, her club team is Bayern Munich. Just like Viviana Miedema, the number 9 for the Netherlands. It just had a brief touch, but Allie Long went over her to win the header. Now Lindsey Horan. The space to Megan Klingenberg. And holding midfielder Allie Long. One touch from Morgan Bryant. Morgan Bryant's from about a 4 to 5 hour drive away from here, by the way, St. Simon's Island in Georgia. Johnson stepped in. Tobin Heat by the touchline. Johnson played it out. Throw now for the United States. Second minute goal by Shanice van de Sonden for the Netherlands. And that's the difference in the match. Alex Morgan had a chance earlier. Chasing is Sauerbrunn. Bumped off the ball by van de Sonden. Great strength by van de Sonden. Good hold-up play. She works along the edge of the area toward the byline. Cross whipped in. Played away by Klingenberg. Side foot clearance out for a Netherlands throw.
Hey, Kat, that was pretty good 1v1 defending by Sauerbrunn there with a take-on artist like Van Sanderen.
I love it. I love that she kept her feet. She didn't go down. She made sure that Van de Sonden stayed in front of her, didn't bite on any of the moves, and slowed her down and allowed her players to get back in behind.
Foul United States. Allie Long.
I don't like that, Allie Long. Not the foul, the fact that she kicked it back to where the foul was committed. When you're playing against a good team and you kick it back, it could be back in play before you're ready. You leave it where it is, let your team get organized. All you have to do is remember back in the '96 Olympics, the men's team playing Argentina, somebody did that same thing, and before they knew it, Argentina was behind them and it was in the back of the net.
The player that went down for the Netherlands was Daniela van de Donk. Now Mandy Vandenberg floats it right to Alyssa Nair. Routine for Nair on the free kick from Mandy Vandenberg, and it stays with a 1-0 Netherlands lead. And as Alyssa Nair gets a touch, more on the United States keeper tonight from our Jenny Tapp. Jenny?
Well, yesterday in speaking with Alyssa Nair, you know, we had to ask about Hope Solo, how it's been without her, and she said, really, it does feel different. She has a big presence, but either way, I need to focus on myself, know that I need to play well, whether or not Hope Solo is with us or not.
Possession out wide by Carly Lloyd, lost on the right-hand side. Ball went back by the United States, turned over to Allie Long. This high press for the Netherlands is causing problems. Van de Sonden with a back pass to Alyssa Nair. And sweet feet from Nair to deal with that back pass. And the attacking player closing her down, Van de Sonden. And now Alex Morgan does the same to Van Veenendaal, the Dutch keeper.
This is a good game.
It's stretched, and the keepers are both having to show off their footwork, Tony.
And both teams are going to goal. It's fun to watch.
Well, we said at the outset, this would be a much different challenge for the United States tonight. All due respect to Thailand, but it would be a much more difficult night for the United States than the 9-0 final scoreline and the Heather O'Reilly retirement night on Thursday in Columbus. Ended with a goal and assist, by the way, for O'Reilly in her 231st and final cap. Lindsey Horan sending it toward the byline. Flag comes up again. Third time, 2 offside. And I believe, Tony, you were right. The other time the flag came up for the AR was the foul by the United States.
But much better from the United States on this left side. Good combination, just a little bit missed time of the run. But that's what Jill Ellis wants to see out there. See the interchanging of positions with Morgan Bryant, Lindsey Horan, and Allie Long. They can rotate extremely easy. And if they can combine well like that, it's going to be very dangerous with those three.
A starter in all 4 contests in the Olympics. 3 in group in the quarterfinals against Sweden, Morgan Bryant. Bryant on it for the United States. Lost by Lindsey Horan.
Nice little sequence there by the Dutch.
Building up out of their own half. Lieke Martens now. Dominic Janssen. Johnson and the Netherlands had the final touch. Last time these two nations played, 3-1 friendly. The United States, the winners. in The Hague in 2013. 2 goals by Kristen Press, 1 by Tobin Heath. All given away by the U.S. in a dangerous area. Nothing comes of it, though. And Whitney Ingham clears it out of the back. Alex Morgan has it taken off her feet by Vandenberg. But the United States still with possession and sending numbers forward. Klingenberg. One touch by Lindsey Horan. Big intervention defensively by Vandenbroek for Holland. And a throw coming for the United States.
Again, good defending there by Sauerbrunn.
#115th cap tonight, Becky Sauerbrunn. Had an assist on Crystal Dunn's goal in the second half against Thailand on Thursday night. Controlled here by the United States in midfield. Horan. Out wide to Tobin Heath. Against Janssen, doesn't take her on. Just sends it right to Van Veenendaal and crashing. The top of the 6-yard box in front of the face of goal was Carly Lloyd, but Van Veenendaal hangs on to it, and another opportunity for the United States. They don't cash in.
Yeah, and a nice ball out from Horan to Tobin Heath, and there's so much space for Tobin Heath to work, which is so dangerous for the Netherlands. They need to make sure to get a player out as quickly as possible, because a ball like that is so easy for Tobin Heath to pick out who she wants and just missed Carly Lloyd on that one.
And I was just going to mention Horan's name because I think she needs to come into the game, and she gave a great ball over there after kind of dueling someone for it. This is a great position for her, that attacking midfield position. She can score and she can deliver passes.
Shots, as you saw, are at 3-3. Van de Sande, the goal scorer. Can't get the cross in. Blocked by Klingenberg. 1v2 now for Van de Sande. Klingenberg gets help from Lindsey Horan. Played out. This will be a Netherlands throw right down by the corner flag.
The United States defense has settled in very nicely to this game. They withstood a lot of that pressure. They did give up the goal, but now they're finding where the players are going. They're reading the game well, and they're moving together as a back line.
They got caught on route 1 on that early goal, and that's the difference in the match right now, with the Netherlands on the Van de Sande goal, leading 1-0 against the United States. 25th minute, Mark Followell, Kat Whitehill, Tony DiCicco. Our coverage here on Fox Sports 1 from the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. The United States will have friendlies next month against Switzerland. They'll play in Salt Lake City at Rio Tinto Stadium on October 19th, and in Minneapolis at US Bank Field on October 23rd. Van de Sande in the goal. Alyssa Nair out off her line. Gathers it in for the United States. Ball out wide from Ali Long, looking for Klingenberg.
Yeah, just an unforced error there.
Yep. In a calendar year where the United States has played 20 times, winning 17, and drawing 3 times. Obviously, being behind has not happened very often, and trailing for over 20 minutes as they have now certainly has not been a feeling that they have experienced very much here in 2016, nor 2015 for that matter. Again, they are undefeated by FIFA statistics in the calendar year 2016. A match that goes to penalties is recorded by FIFA as a draw for the United States and Sweden in the Olympic quarterfinals. 1-1 after extra time and 4-3 for Sweden on penalties. Hedvig Lindahl for Sweden had 1 big save. Kristen Press with a penalty that went over. Now Carly Lloyd, big collision. Going to play advantage right here though for the United States. The referee Crystal Sobers, although Lloyd is still down. Got drilled at the halfway line. Out wide to Lindsey Horan from Klingenberg. Looking to whip a ball in. It's blocked. Van Lunteren, the right back, with the defensive touch for the Netherlands. And now the ball played out for a United States throw. It's Carly Lloyd who was on the receiving end of a big collision, as we see here.
Yeah, absolutely. Vandenberg just completely takes Carly Lloyd out. I like the call from the referee to play on. It's just unfortunate that Morgan Bryan slowed it down after she had already called play on, but it would have been a good opportunity for the United States to get out quick.
And let's get more now from Ginny Taft. Ginny.
Well, guys, Jill Ellis very upset with that last call, getting vocal, getting up, talking to the referees. And something to keep in mind, she pulled me aside before the match today, and she said, I have to be really careful with a lot of these players. Some need rest ahead of the NWSL playoffs coming up. One of those players, Crystal Dunn, we're only going to see about 30 to 40 minutes with her. She's got an ankle injury she's still coming back from. So Jill limited on who's available tonight.
Just had two players work back into the lineup with Whitney Engen and Morgan Bryan. A hamstring and concussion were the injuries respectively for those two who missed Thursday night against Thailand. More on that in a moment, but a chance now for the Netherlands. Here comes Lika Martens with a long run and plays a good ball into the box. And coming back defensively, the United States gets a vital touch. And a shot right to Alyssa Nair. Julie Johnston had that touch on that cross that was sent in by Martens.
And Martens stripped Engen on the touchline, but here's Carly Lloyd with a service.
And Carly Lloyd whips it in, and it's cleared right through the middle by the Netherlands. Morgan Bryan. Allie Long back to Julie Johnston.
Well, that's an interesting report from Ginny Taft, is because I see 4 Portland Thorns players on the field right now. So it'd be interesting to see if they get substituted, because they're also in the playoffs.
Portland still has a chance to win the NWSL Shield, by the way, although it's the Washington Spirits to win based on the final week of the season next weekend, with Washington playing away to Chicago Red Stars, who are 3rd in the table in the NWSL and headed to the playoffs. Portland will be away to Sky Blue. Miedema.
Yeah, we haven't called her name very much, Mark, but she's had some good little touches to keep attacks going. That was a run, a diagonal run in behind the U.S. defense. She got the ball and earned a corner.
Well, she's confusing Johnson and Sauerbrunn in there. The communication is going to have to be spot on with them, because her movement is so smart. She delays her run at times you would think that she would go, and she's getting out of the way of other players running into those spots. That's a dynamic movement that Miedema and Vandenberg were talking about yesterday.
You saw the number about Miedema's goal-scoring prowess during the qualifying in Europe for the Women's World Cup in 2015, but the most dangerous attacker tonight for the Netherlands is right in front of Alyssa Nair right now. On that shot you saw, that was Van de Son. The corner toward the near post. It was sent in by Spitza, dealt with by the United States. Lindsey Horan wins the header, sprays it out to the near side for the Netherlands, and a throw. Half an hour played at the Georgia Dome. Johnson puts it in play. Here's Miedema. Bumped off the ball by Carly Lloyd. Immediately, though, won back by the Netherlands.
Yeah, Decker with a good tackle there to win it back.
They certainly have not bunkered in after grabbing that early lead. They've had threatening attacks, and they've had a lot of the ball in the first, now 31 minutes.
Pretty even possession-wise.
Spitza. Lloyd looking for the long launch with Van Veenendaal off her line, but Vandenberg, right place, right time, in the way for the Netherlands with the block.
Yeah, she was looking for the World Cup field goal right there.
She was teeing that up. Vandenberg is very lucky that her head got in the way of that one.
And Van Veenendaal as well. Here's Morgan Bryan. Seen it on a couple of occasions tonight. Klingenberg pushing forward at left back, and it's starting to happen now.
Well, when they have the ball, it's not going to be a 4-back. It's basically going to be a 3-back, and it's going to move to like a 3-4-3 or something.
Out wide on the right, Tobin Heath. Slips past Dominic Johnson. Johnson with the recovery tackle, though. Well done. Good defending by Dominic Johnson.
Excellently timed tackle there to not get any foul or penalty kick.
And this is potential trouble here as Van de Songen racing forward again. And Julie Johnston will clear for a throw.
Well, that was a well-timed tackle because that was a dangerous tackle. You'll see it here. The ball is played in. Great little move by Tobin Heath. And now Janssen recovers, makes the tackle in the penalty area. You got to be spot on, or it's a penalty.
She got it right, Tony. Dominic Johnson, 21 years old. She was part of the Netherlands side that is the reason why people feel like this is a really up-and-coming power. Won the UEFA Under-19s in 2014 for the Netherlands. Dominic Johnson was part of that. Jana Miedema was as well. Miedema was the top scorer, the Golden Boot winner of that tournament.
And there's not a lot of new players from the World Cup roster into this Netherlands team, but it's a new coach.
Van de Songen, it fell for. Van de Songen bringing it in. And now it falls for Lieke Martens. And the United States just with numbers. They got it out for a moment. Still can't clear it. Spitze chips it from long range. Sliding over to a left, Alyssa Nair.
Well, Spitze couldn't get much on it, and it was a little bit awkward for Alyssa Nair, but she got across her goal. She has good footwork. And I coached her in the 2008 U20 World Cup. She was goalkeeper of that tournament. She has very good athleticism. You saw it there.
6 clean sheets kept this year. 13 starts for Chicago Red Stars. Noted earlier, she was the League's Player of the Month back in May. Van Veenendaal came out off her line. Well timed by Van der Graag.
Well, just going back to the new coach for the Netherlands and Van der Laan, the players like that they're not so defensive anymore. They have players running forward just like Janssen we were talking about, or in the interchanging. And I think that's the biggest difference moving forward for the Netherlands from the 2015 World Cup, where they did get out of their group, but they didn't feel like they played their best. And that's what's exciting about watching this team. And they want to represent their country proud, because they talked even about how the lack of success from the men's side has allowed them to be more in the limelight a bit with the Euros coming into their country. And now it puts a new focus on women's soccer.
Off Janssen, Tobin Heath. Heath coming in for the right-hand side, headed towards the byline, drags it back, and a shot and a goal for the United States for Carly Lloyd.
Well done by the USA, and Coach Van der Laan said, any mistakes, and we will pay. And there's a mistake by Janssen. Tobin Heath gets in, she delays her pass, and what was best of all is Lloyd delayed her run. So she's wide open, she's able to hammer it, she finds the upper corner. Good goal for the USA.
Well, one thing that Allie Wagner talked about in the studio is Whitney Ingen coming from the back in our offense, and right there she started that with that ball into Tobin Heath, and she's playing well so far in this new role in this outside back. It'll be interesting to see going forward if she gets out there a little bit of by default is why she's out there, because Kelly O'Hara is not in the group, so it's going to be interesting to see. But so far, well done from Whitney Ingen.
Levels the match at 1-1. The goal by Carly Lloyd, her 94th. Coming off a hat trick against Thailand on Thursday, 4 assists along with the 3 goals. And now Carly Lloyd shares top scoring honors in the 2016 calendar year for the United States with Alex Morgan. Both now have 15 goals. Ali Krieger coming on. 37th minute, first change for the United States. Ingen off, Ali Krieger comes on for the U.S.
I don't think that could be a tactical change. Maybe Ingen, feels her hamstring again or something, because she didn't do badly.
Spitze off the layoff from Miedema and brings it wide.
Well, we saw even on the goal at the very beginning of the game that she wasn't able to stride out completely. And if you're not able to do that, you don't have the confidence sprinting back. And with this high pace of a game and how wide open it is, it's tough to keep that going. And Whitney Ingen, she knows her body very well, and she probably was able to communicate with the coaches and talk to them a little bit about how she was feeling.
Krieger played the first half against Thailand on Thursday night and comes on late in the first half for the U.S. Tobin Heath assisting on the Carly Lloyd goal a moment ago. 35th minute goal, the 31st in the last 32 matches. This will be a free kick for the United States. Lloyd dumped to the turf by a Nuke Decker.
And that's the second talking to the ref has had with Decker. Maybe that deserves a yellow card.
Persistent infringement will be under consideration going forward, perhaps for a card for Nuke Decker. But right now, the matter at hand for the United States, Morgan Bryan over this free kick. Over 35 yards out, sent toward the back post. Lloyd goes down in the box. It will be a goal kick for the Netherlands. 39th minute, 1-1, United States and the Netherlands. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific. That's only on FS1. Not sure, Kat and Tony. Obviously, the United States didn't expect to come out and have the Netherlands grab the early goal. Dream start for the Netherlands, and it took a little while for the United States, it looked like, to recover from that. But clearly, over the last several minutes, as the flag comes up here, over the last several minutes, we've seen a much more purposeful attack out of the United States, and obviously resulting in a goal some 4 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kat. Sorry.
A lot of it has to do with the fact that the high pressure from the Netherlands is not there. The United States has had time and space on the ball. They're able to look up. They're finding their players. We were wondering if the Netherlands could keep it up for the 45 minutes in this half and the full 90, and they can't. Now they have to be smart defensively. They have to adjust a little bit. If they can't keep it up fitness-wise, how can they manage a team like the United States and being overloaded in that midfield with a 4 from the U.S. and a 3 with the Netherlands?
The Netherlands were close to being in the Olympics in Rio earlier this summer. There were 4 teams that played for UEFA's final qualifying spot. That tournament happened in March, and it was Sweden, who ultimately, of course, won the silver medal this summer, who came out of that tournament with that one last spot to represent Europe in the Olympics. The Netherlands finished second in that 4-team tournament.
And they were very disappointed with that.
Lost to Norway, Tony, 4-1. And then the last match was a 1-1 draw against Sweden, when all Sweden needed was a draw to send them through.
But they said they're using that for motivation going forward because they felt they should have been in the Olympics.
And kind of like tonight, they scored an early goal in that 1-1 draw with Sweden. Miedema scored in the 5th minute, but they could not maintain that lead. Surrendered an equalizer right before the end of the first half, and that's how the match ended up 1-1. Sauerbrunn forward to Lloyd. Lloyd gives it away in the midfield to Lika Martins. Now back to Ali Long for the United States. Krieger, who came on for Whitney Engen a moment ago. That's her first touch of the ball. United States throw. 95 caps now for Ali Krieger, the 32-year-old. 2 of those caps came in the Olympics, with one of them a start against Colombia in the 2-2 match that ended group play. Yellow Van de Donk played it out into space on the right-hand side. Van Lunteren, the right back. Sauerbrunn with an intercept, and it fell back to her. And she has it again. Becky Sauerbrunn getting forward. Looking for Morgan. Defended well by the Netherlands. And won back by Miedema. Flag went up, though.
Miedema came from an offside position, but I love when forwards back check, if you will, if we use a hockey term, and kind of mug center midfielders that aren't looking for them.
She probably wants a chance, too, for a touch of the ball, Tony. She has just not had a lot of the ball in the first half for the Netherlands. Now here's Alex Morgan. Alex Morgan going in on goal, sends it across the face of goal. Thought at first she might try to go near post, but instead sends it across the face of goal, and a glorious opportunity to grab the lead does not work out for the United States.
Well, I like the overlapping run from Krieger. It opened a little bit of space for Alex Morgan to move into, and I thought she was going to shoot it as well. Might have even caught Haran a little bit off guard, because if she had just slid into that ball, that would have been a goal.
I think she did shoot it, to be honest with you. She shot at far post, just missed the target. But you saw her strength to hold off the defender there, and that was one of the few times we saw the Netherlands lose their shape in the back. The right backman, Lutheran, was keeping everyone onside.
Tobin Heath at her finest, when she can just read players so well. She saw the overlapping run, but she beats two Dutch defenders and finds Alex Morgan on the run. The United States is leaving Tobin Heath out wide a lot. She's just keeping her heels on the sideline. And it looks like the Netherlands don't really know what to do, when they should go out to her, but they have to close her down because of her technical ability.
Well, I personally thought in the Olympics she came central too much. And when you bring so many players central, you're clogging up the middle for your center forward.
Morgan's gone down. Morgan Bryant just had a touch of the ball and crossed into the back post by the United States. Carly Lloyd chasing, drags it back, looking for Alex Krieger. Ali Krieger had a touch. Back to Julie Johnston.
USA finishing this half on their front foot.
And it was before the goal was scored. It felt like at that point it was just a matter of time. Now a heavy tackle on the aforementioned Tobin Heath. Quick restart. Bryan whips across in. Now sent back by Klingenberg. It was on goal, floated right down to Sari van Veenendaal, the Netherlands keeper.
Two quick free kicks now for the United States, and they have caught the Netherlands off guard, and they are not ready. They need to be prepared for that. Both of those times have been dangerous and pretty much wide open opportunities.
And I like that. I like put it down and get it in play, because defenses aren't always prepared for the play to continue without everybody running into the penalty area and looking for a long ball.
Headed towards the end of the first half. We'll have a little bit of stoppage time. Let's see how much. 1 minute. And Veenendaal to Vanderbrot. Alex Morgan close by. And Veenendaal sent it forward.
Good high pressure by the USA, and basically Netherlands just had to dump it in. Alex Morgan started it, and Lindsey Horan fouled, and I think they should do that more.
Just a little bit of stoppage time remaining here at the end of the first half. While we have a few seconds, a quick thought on what you saw in the first 45 minutes, Kathy.
Well, the Netherlands caught the United States off guard, but they've really grown into the game really nice. They figured out the pockets of space out wide, and they've defended well. They're dropping a little bit quicker, reading those quick counterattacks.
Played out here by the Netherlands for a throw, Tony. First 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think the Netherlands is a good team. They've done well, but you can't think that the USA isn't going to grow into the game and get better and better and better, and that's what the USA has done. Carly Lloyd's been very active. Tobin Heath has been very active, and Alex Morgan has created some problems.
And one last attack with a long throw into the box by Becky Sauerbrunn. Miss hit by Miedema. Poked forward by Vandenberg, and that will do it for the first half at the Georgia Dome. Carly Lloyd from Tobin Heath, the goal for the United States. That matched Shanice van de Sonden, who scored early, second minute.
Tied things up with the Dutch 1-1. What are you looking forward to, Allie, here in the second half from the red, white, and blue?
I thought it was an entertaining first half. I think from the U.S. standpoint, I've loved when Horan has pinched in a bit, been more of a playmaker, and when Heath has stayed wide and taken on the outside. And Megan Klingenberg, yes, she got burned on that play where Van den Sanden ended up behind her, but I think getting forward is still important for Kling.
Engen checked out. Krieger came in. We see Kristen Press on the field as well. To round out all the subs, let's send it back to Atlanta. Mark, Tony, and Kat.
Second half about to kick off. Emily Sonnet, Marietta, Georgia's own. Emily Sonnet has come on with Julie Johnston subbing out. Kristen Press starts play to open up the second half. Becky Sauerbrunn sends it forward. Header won by Vandenberg for the Netherlands. They struck quickly to start the first half. Klingenberg lashes it forward. And hard to the turf. Lindsey Horan.
Decker again.
This has to be a yellow card from Decker. That is her third late tackle that could result in an injury, and the referee isn't even talking to her with that one. That's a combined total. It's bad tackle. She could have given a yellow for just any one of them individually. That should easily have been a yellow card.
A very heavy challenge from Anouk Decker.
Handball.
Free kick for the United States. Clipped in here. And Lloyd commits the foul in the box. Doesn't appear that Holland changed anything from the first 45 minutes. The U.S. did bring on Kristen Press. Alex Morgan went out. Morgan, remember, had a really good chance late in the first half. And also Julie Johnston out. Emily Sonnet has come on. Sonnet with her 11th cap for the United States, and they've all been in the last 11 months. Ball too far for Van de Sonden. She couldn't run it down.
And you're not seeing any substitutes from the Netherlands, because we have to remember that in less than a year, they're going to be hosting the European Championship. This is their first test against the defending World Cup champions. They want to see how they handle this kind of pressure, how they handle this team, because they don't have to qualify for the Euros. They automatically are in. They want to play the best. They play the United States here tonight, and then later in October they're going to be playing the defending Olympic champs in Germany. So that's why they're really building this team for those Euros.
That's certainly a way to test yourself. In 5 weeks, you play the #1 ranked team in the world and the defending Women's World Cup champions, and then the defending Olympic gold medalist Germany. Lindsey Horan with the ball. Vandergaard got a touch for the Netherlands defensively. Now Ali Long. Tobin Heath. Krieger's to her right. That's where she goes. Krieger towards the byline, drags it back. One touch, Morgan Bryant. Oh, a save right at the near post and then wide. Oh, a kick save by Van Veenendaal on a point-blank attempt here by Morgan Bryant.
Yeah, good stuff by Tobin Heath. Ali Krieger holds her runs, puts in a dangerous ball that kind of hits the upright, comes back, hits off a defender. How did that not go in? Jedi goalkeeping, we call that.
2 big saves. Lloyd had a chance on the doorstep. The post played a role in all of that as well. And now the United States with a corner, with Morgan Bryant to Van Veenendaal's left. Drives it toward the back post. Runners in the box. Read and claimed by Van Veenendaal for the Netherlands.
And the USA has come out here, Kat, with a different level. They have a focus, and they seem to be on a purpose to get a goal, take the lead, and then keep the Netherlands under pressure.
Well, they've come out in the second half the way the Netherlands came out in the first half. They're high pressing, they're interchanging really well, they're dynamic in their movements, and there's so many players for the Netherlands defense to deal with.
Press taking on a defender, Vandergaard across the face of goal. It's an own goal! It's an own goal for the United States off the Netherlands, 2-1 to the U.S.
Van Veenendaal is running towards the referee. Vandenberg is running because it looked like Tobin Heath could have gotten a push in the box.
Yeah, as soon as she made the own goal, she's on the ground, but she puts up her hands, and you can see there was a little bit of push there from Tobin Heath. I don't think a foul would have been out of the question here. Heath comes in a little bit late, pushes her over. She ends up heading it in or playing it off her body into the goal. But referee says goal. U.S. is leading 2-1.
Tobin Heath was bodying for position. And I actually like the no call from the referee because it was 2 players against 1 in favor of the Netherlands, and yet Tobin Heath just tried to get in between. And it was unfortunate that the defender went right to the ball and got the own goal, but I don't really see a foul in that. I think it should stand for sure.
No, I saw a foul, but not an easy call for the referee and not an easy call from the assistant. But I think Tobin Heath ran in behind her, knocked her over, and unfortunately she fell right in the path of the ball and ended up in the back of the net.
And it was off Vandenberg, the captain. Now space here for Spitza. She drives it in. Nair reacts well off her line and scoops it up. Plays it quickly. Kristen Press is forward right now for the United States. It will fall for her. Press has Carly Lloyd joining in the attack. It's 2v4. She's going to drag it back. Headed out of the box defensively by the Netherlands. Lieke Martens. Back the other way. Martens. Danielle van der Donk. Watched by Krieger. 50th minute. Own goal gives the United States their first lead tonight. Anouk Dekker. Back to her from Miedema. Now looking up and sending it in is van der Donk.
Now, Tobin Heath kind of gets blocked by Johnson into Vandenberg and then kind of knocks Vandenberg over. Difficult call from the referee. Doesn't matter. It's USA 2, Netherlands 1.
Lloyd quickly plays it into the middle. And Vandenberg sends it back to Van Veenendaal. Well, we have seen the referee from Trinidad and Tobago tonight, Crystal Silvers. I mean, you have talked on a couple of occasions, Kat, about the cards not shown specifically to Anouk Dekker. So when it's come to getting fouls tonight, she's erred on the side of not calling them. Hasn't shown any cards yet. So her lack of a whistle in that particular case probably to be expected for the way she's refereed the match tonight as Allie Long comes forward. Oh, this deflects right to Kristen Press off the post. Off the post for Kristen Press. Second post hit by the United States in the opening minutes of the second half.
Well, the USA has turned up the heat on the Netherlands, and they have to respond. They've got to defend better. Another let off. Press should have probably put it away, but good move by Allie Long, the top of the 18, to get that initial shot off that deflected over to Press.
Press scored in the 4th minute against Thailand on Thursday night and almost scores here very early in the second half, Kat.
Well done from Allie Long. Just individual effort, and then it just bounces off of Carly Lloyd right to the feet of Kristen Press. And you're right, Tony, she probably should have finished it there, but the way for the Netherlands to deal with this is to keep the ball. They are giving the ball away too easily. They are tackling late. They are coming in, and the United States is now passing around this Netherlands team. They need to slow the game down because they cannot stick with the United States at the moment.
I call it the USA trap because everybody leaves at halftime and they say, well, we can play with the USA. But the USA has another 2, 3, or 4 levels that they can play at. All of a sudden they come in the second half and they find out they can't play with the USA unless they play differently.
And that's one thing that Vandenberg talked about with, I asked her about the mentality of the United States and how do you measure yourself against it, and she said the difference between us and them as the United States is 200%, sometimes even more, and we need to reach that mentality to be one of the best teams in the world.
Free kick from the right-hand side, Morgan Bryant. Bryant on the run-up, sends a good ball in. Cleared by the Netherlands, only as far as Megan Klingenberg. Becky Sauerbrunn clips it in. Headed right in front to Van Veenendaal. Let's get a report right now from Jenny Taft, who spoke to Jill Ellis at halftime. Jenny.
Well, guys, Jill is pleased with what she's seeing in the second because she told me at the break, I need to see character, I need to see effort from this team. And more specifically, she said it's going to come down to character. We didn't talk at all about tactics because our players know what is expected. The Netherlands were going to come hard to play us. We should have expected that.
I think that's a great statement because early on, the USA was fouled. They went down. They seemed to stay on the ground too long. Yes, you were fouled, but get up and keep playing. I mean, if you're hurt, you stay down. If you're bothered by the fact you got fouled, then you can't play this game. And they came out with a different focus. And I love the fact when coaches say, we can't talk tactics because we've got to play the game at a certain level before we can even talk tactics.
Danielle Van de Donk, the number 10, dropped in deep for a touch. Now blast forward, deep ball. Too long for Lika Martens out of the back from Stephanie van der Graag. The Netherlands held the lead for over half an hour tonight. Lloyd equalized in the first half. An own goal of Mandy Vandenberg gives the United States the 2-1 lead with the Netherlands. They're threatening. It's a shot from Van de Donk. And about shoulder high, read well, collected by Alyssa Nair, playing quickly. She's done this a couple of times now, Kat, with only Kristen Press and Carly Lloyd up top.
And you can tell it's mainly with Kristen Press because they play together for the Chicago Red Stars. They've done that a lot during the season. They have a special connection from playing all season long together.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but the first time she did it, she came and won a difficult ball in the crowd and then immediately put it right where Kristen Press could receive it and take it to goal.
Press trying to hold it up, drawing the attention. At one point there were 5 defenders around her. Klingenberg all the way back to Emily Sonnet, who subbed on to start the second half. At the feet of Alyssa Nair. Very dangerous. Closed down by Danielle Van de Donk.
Nair's dealt with the pressure that the Netherlands has put on her, kicking both right-footed and left-footed. I think she's done that very well.
She's dealt with the pressure, yeah, and she's looked more confident. Yeah.
She's responded well to giving up an early goal.
Now here's Lloyd out wide on the left in space for Morgan Bryan. Bryan holding it up, has options at the back post. Cleared out by the Netherlands. The United States crashing that back post. Now Klingenberg to the top of the box. Flipped in by Press. No one there for the United States. Sent away by Stephanie van der Graag. Klingenberg in her 70th cap had the throw. She may have a touch here off a ball from Morgan Bryan. The United States certainly on the front foot for the vast majority of the second half. Right now they have an own goal in the 50th minute to show for it. Klingenberg working hard.
And the Netherlands don't have an answer right now. They have not adjusted at all in the second half. They have to slow it down, keep possession. Don't allow all this movement from the all this ball movement from the United States to happen because they cannot keep up.
Tonight's the 70th match managed by Jill Ellis. You just saw a shot of her looking on for the U.S. bench. Lloyd looking for Press. Lloyd got shoved in the back. The United States immediately has won the ball back. Lindsey Horan for Morgan Bryan. Dragging it toward the byline. Off the outside of her right foot into the box. Horan went down. Again given away, this time by Miedema to Carly Lloyd. Lloyd has it tackled off her feet.
Yeah, Miedema has to hold that for more than one touch. Be strong. Make sure she connects because you can't give the ball away in that part of the field.
This is Morgan Bryan from Allie Long. Now Press on her right foot and the shot is blocked. Krieger, she goes down. Lloyd at the byline, tight angle shot to the near post. Van Veenendaal has it.
And she had to be alert because that shot had a little bit of attitude on it. Even though it was a very bad angle, the goalkeeper had to be alert. And she's doing a good job. She's taking a little bit of time now, giving her teammates a breather, because the USA right now is they can't control.
That's the 6th save for Van Veenendaal, the Dutch keeper. Not the most difficult, but you're right, Tony. Did require a level of alertness to the danger. Allie Long gave it away. Martins. Lika Martins. Miedema looking to hold it up. Trying to work past Ali Krieger. Solid defending by Krieger. Sends it out for a throw for the Netherlands.
And the Netherlands have to find a way to get Miedema more involved. One reason why the Netherlands did not do well in the World Cup, this past World Cup, was because Miedema was non-existent. She's been non-existent as well in this game, and they just need to keep finding her feet and playing better off of her.
Krieger and Tobin Heath defend Danielle van de Donk. And whatever the Netherlands was hoping would materialize did not. Goal kick is coming up here as we played 1 hour tonight at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta. And this friendly between the United States, ranked #1 in the world, getting together for the first time since bowing out in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. The Netherlands ranked 12th in the latest FIFA rankings. They went up a spot. They swapped spots with China at 12 and 13 after the Olympics. Miedema bumped off the ball by Emily Sonnet, and finally the foul is given against Miedema. And we see the first card tonight. First booking, 62nd minute yellow card shown to Viviana Miedema by Crystal Silvers, the referee from Trinidad and Tobago.
It's an interesting yellow card here from the referee. She hasn't been pulling the cards out the whole game, and you saw Miedema look at her and say, that was my first one. Based on the referee this game, that doesn't deserve to be a yellow card.
No, it looked like Tobin Heath went down a little bit easy, but she probably senses that the intensity is picked up and she's trying to keep control of the game.
Vandenberg plays it to the halfway line. She's the player that had the own goal earlier in the second half. Krieger down right now for the United States, helped up by the player that she came together with. That was Danielle van de Donk. And Crystal Dunn, as you can see, is getting ready to come on for the United States. The 4th change tonight is about to occur.
Which will probably come on for Tobin Heath, but she might go central. She could even come on for Carly Lloyd. But the fact is, if you have another attacking player, the U.S. is deep.
Well-timed touch by Emily Sonnet, got it out of the back with a high press coming from the Netherlands. And all the way back. This will be a goal kick coming up for Van Veenendaal.
And I'm a little bit surprised that Van der Laan hasn't made a sub. There's 6 subs allowed in the friendly. You would think he would make 1 or 2. I see some players warming up, but
well, there will be 2 changes now. Crystal Dunn is coming on. Megan Klingenberg coming off. And Megan Rapinoe will come on here in the 64th minute. And Lindsay Horan will come off. As Megan Rapinoe comes on, if you missed the beginning of the telecast tonight and the start of the match, Megan did take a knee again during the national anthem, as she did before the match Thursday against Thailand.
she's being booed.
With a few cheers. It's a bit of a mixture here tonight.
Well, an athlete with her platform, as we know, she's not going to take a stance on an issue like this unless she feels very passionately about bringing attention to it. Tony, I know that you've coached hundreds of players. I know that as a coach you have to respect the right to individualism, to social activism for players, but also as someone, you have been a part of U.S. soccer at very high and very successful levels, so I know that you respect the position with the statement that they came out with earlier this week.
You're right, Mark. I mean, I do respect a person's right to protest or demonstrate. I mean, this is what makes America great. but you're playing for the USA. You're actually representing the flag, the colors, and I think that even though it's a sport, not a military representation, but it's a sport, I think that everyone should stand and honor our flag.
Kat, former player, your perspective, and I know that locker room harmony is something that you can understand is very important. And by everything that we've seen and heard, and even Carly Lloyd was very honest with Jenny Tapp before the game tonight about the fact that it has been a distraction. However, in terms of a unity locker room harmony standpoint, Carly Lloyd and all of Megan's teammates appear to be totally behind her.
Well, the key is for Megan to communicate to the team that she plans to do it. She wants to convey a message, and she's decided that this is how she wants to do it. If the team is openly communicating, and the players will still be able to do what they need to do to play. Because when that national anthem ends, they must be ready to face this tough Netherlands team. And that's what's key in that locker room. It's all about open communication among the players.
Jenny Taft has more. Jenny?
Well, guys, as you know, we did make the request to talk to Megan Rapinoe today. She chose to not have a conversation with me before the game, but just to reiterate what Carly Lloyd said to me pre-kick, she said, you know, it is a distraction. It's something that we're dealing with, but at the same time, we need to focus on the game because it is that bigger picture with Rapinoe, and we're going to have to just wait and see what Rapinoe does with that stance. There's going to be more coming from her in the future, guys.
NWSL play will wrap up for Megan and the Seattle Reign next week. And by the way, they still have a chance to get into the playoffs as well. And hopefully going forward, it's going to be more about the issues that players like Megan are bringing light to rather than the means of expression. Here's a chance now for Daniela Vanderdonk.
I was just saying, absolutely. That's what she wants, is the message.
Yep. Rieger back defending. Crystal Dunn came all along with Megan Rapinoe. Now this shot's going to take a deflection from Miedema. Read well by Alyssa Nair. And again, I think that this point cannot be emphasized enough. After surrendering the early goal, the United States was caught out defensively. It was a great attack by Van de Sande. Then route one goal for the Netherlands. Nair didn't have much of a chance to stop it. Ever since then, Nair has been able to rise up to every challenge that's come her way from the Netherlands attack.
She's been good. She's had to deal with a couple of awkward balls that she's come and won. I think her distribution has been very, very good. But did you see how quick Miedema got that shot off? She's going to have to, listen, there's going to have to stay sharp because Holland's not going away.
And here they come, as a matter of fact. Miedema is forward. Sauerbrunn with the touchback to Alyssa Nair.
Well, that's the great thing about the NWSL is watching the confidence of Alyssa Nair. She hasn't been able to play a lot for the national team, but she's gained the confidence by playing for her teams in the NWSL. She played for the Boston Breakers for a little bit. Now she's playing for the Chicago Red Stars, and I played in front of her actually, and it took a while for her to gain confidence to speak loudly, but once she did, she knows the game very well. And now she's playing with confidence. She's even louder, and it's so key for a goalkeeper to have that presence in goal. That's where Hope Solo was exceptional. And now Alyssa Nair can step in with that same kind of confidence and guide her back line, and that therefore guides the rest of the team.
Ashlyn Harris was the keeper who played the 90 minutes and had a clean sheet against Thailand on Thursday. And you know, one of the things that Jill Ellis said about where they are in the cycle right now and these friendlies against Thailand and the Netherlands and the upcoming friendlies against Sweden is that the idea is they've got to find more players. Number one, they want quality opposition. Number two, they've got to find more players. We were talking earlier today, for example, let's see this attack here built up by the Netherlands. Emily Sonnet clears it out. And part of finding players, I mean, there's going to be outfield players that they're looking for, but keepers as well, Kat.
Yeah, I mean, Jill Ellis talked about in the next camp, she's going to invite a lot of different people in. There might even be some of these players here even possibly getting a rest in this camp because she wants to bring in so many players. And some players, there are so many, but some of the players that I really think deserve to come into that camp is Kalia Ohai of the Houston Dash, Abby Dahlkemper from Western New York, Abby Smith if she's healthy from the Boston Breakers, because she is another one, a goalkeeper out there that players that people should be looking for to possibly step in with Hope Solo's suspension, and then Colaprico and Gilliland from the Chicago Red Stars are also some players. Colaprico has been in and out a little bit with the national team this year, so you know that Jill Ellis has been watching the NWSL a lot this year, and she wants to see those players in a high-pressure situation.
Well, I really like Ojai. She should definitely be one that comes in.
Mayer has it here for the United States. The one keeper on the list was Abby Smith from Boston, University of Texas. Great collegiate career there.
Yeah, Ojai is also the leading scorer in the NWSL, so she's doing a lot right.
Here's Crystal Dunn. Crystal Dunn leading the attack for the United States. Side foot clearance by Vandenberg. The Dutch captain who surrendered the own goal that's currently the difference in the scoreline with the United States in front 2-1. At the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Mark Followell, Kat Whitehill, Tony DeChico, Jenny Taft on the sideline. 20 more minutes, and I would say over the last few minutes after the Van de Sonden goal very early, and then Lloyd equalized in the own goal, the Netherlands has regained some confidence, getting forward more. Opportunities are starting to occur for the Netherlands. But right now it's Tobin Heath and Kristen Press with touches for the United States. And Press bumped off the ball. Down went Anouk Decker. Press out wide on the left-hand side. Having a go at Van Lunteren. And a corner coming for the United States.
Press has been good in this half. She's taken on, she's created some good opportunities, she's hit the post. The only thing she hasn't done is put a goal away.
Yeah, her movement has been very good off of Carly Lloyd and Tobin Heath and Crystal Dunn up front, and that's what Jill Ellis needs to see as well when she brings in that new camp. And for the next camp is players like Kristen Press, who don't necessarily get a lot of playing time or didn't in the Olympics. How does she keep developing as a player?
Tobin Heath over this corner. Driven in near the penalty spot, cleared out by the Netherlands, only as far as Megan Rapinoe. Rapinoe whips it back into the box. Morgan Bryan clips it at the back post. And arriving was Carly Lloyd. It will skip past her, and Miedema relieves the pressure for the Netherlands. But only got as far as Ali Krieger. Rapinoe a touch. Now Crystal Dunn. Dunn a diagonal ball back. And whipped away by Anouk Decker for the Netherlands. We said at the beginning this would be a much, much different story tonight for the United States in terms of the level of competition and how hard they would have to work against the opponent.
And they've had a good second half, and really this is what Netherlands want. They want to see the level that they have to aspire to. They wanted to play the best, and they're seeing the best from the USA in this half.
Brought down by Megan Rapinoe, cutting across. Rapinoe looking to play it into the box. Well done by Vandenberg, sliding in front of Morgan Bryan. All the way out wide now for Crystal Dunn. Dunn trying to take on Vandenberg. Krieger. Morgan Bryan slides it over to Crystal Dunn. Ball served in. Cut out by Anouk Decker. Another corner for the United States now in the 74th minute.
And we're looking at Morgan Bryan, and she's the player that has to become the leader of this midfield.
Corner struck by Tobin Heath. Crystal Dunn was the closest player for the United States. Vandenberg sent it away. And that's out for a throw coming now for the Netherlands. You know, in the last quarter hour, they're going to start pressing even harder for that equalizer.
Well, they need to substitute someone into the game to give them a lift. They've got tired legs now. They've been playing a very stretched game against the United States. The United States is pressing them. They need to add a spark, probably in the midfield since they've been outnumbered the whole time, but maybe in the wing. They need to get some more attacking opportunities.
And no subs made tonight by the Netherlands.
Well, it's either, and I don't believe this is the case, that they don't have any depth. I think he's making a statement here to these players that he wants them to figure it out.
Van de Sanden, she scored in the second minute. Holding it up here, tracking back was Kristen Press. Right place, right time, won it back to the United States. Now Lloyd trying to fight off Daniela Van de Donk. One back by Decker. Van de Sanden a ball into the midfield. Sauerbrunn will opt for the back pass. Nair drives it all the way to the halfway line. Kristen Press brings it down and didn't let that roll over the touchline. Allie Long. Rapinoe trying to dart in behind the back four. And the flag comes up. Rapinoe was in an offside position when the ball was played and came back to it. You can see the idea of Long looking for Rapinoe to make a run in behind that back four.
It's an excellent ball, but Megan Rapinoe just kept running and she didn't even check to see about the line. I was watching her run and Allie Long was trying to make sure that she got the ball over the top, but Rapinoe just didn't hold up her run and that's why she was called off.
Turf Monster just got Rapinoe a moment ago. Into Morgan Bryant. A touch by the Netherlands. Throw a few yards up from the corner flag for the United States.
Here comes Sauerbrunn. She takes their long throw-ins. So they'll have something that comes off the training ground here. I mean, she may play short, but looks like she's going to look to put it into the penalty area.
These can act like sort of set pieces. This is short to Rapinoe. Rapinoe clips it right in front. A chance here for the United States. That went in. It just went over the line. Goal, United States.
Excellent ball by Rapinoe. And then it was somebody won the header on the back post. And I think Dunn ended up finishing it.
I think it's Allie Long that finished it. And Carly Lloyd.
I get it reversed. Dunn one on the back post. Let's take a look.
When you're right, it is like a set piece, especially when you play a ball into Megan Rapinoe. And it was Carly Lloyd that actually found Allie Long. And Allie Long does such an excellent job of getting her body in front of the defender, especially in the goal area on set pieces, because she's able just to barely flick it over, and it goes right over Van Vendendaal and over the line. But again, that's just sheer effort from Carly Lloyd and Allie Long. They wanted it more than the Netherlands players.
Yeah, good set piece. There was options, and Carly Lloyd got another assist. That's 5 in 2 games.
And 11 assists in 2016 for Carly Lloyd, tops amongst all U.S. players. You just saw that the goal for Allie Long is her 3rd. Tonight is the 16th cap for the native of Huntington, New York. She's on the score sheet, and the United States leads it 3-1. And for more on Allie Long, here's Jenny Tapp. Jenny.
Well, I spoke to Alex Morgan this morning about Allie Long specifically. The two are close on and off the pitch, and what she said was she made the most of getting called back with this team. It's not common to see a player get back into camp and be starting within 3 months of getting back in the mix. She said there's a calmness to the way she plays. You just feel very comfortable when you're out on the field together, and she sees the game differently. She's brought a lot to this group.
2 goals this year included what she's brought to the group, scored in a friendly earlier this year against Colombia.
Well, and what I loved about Allie Long when we talked to her was her passion. And it isn't normal when you see a player that was called in and then missed a whole year and then goes back in.
Here's a chance now for the Netherlands cat. It's Van de Sanden. She goes across the face of goal, and Nair got a hand on it. Don't know if that was ticketed for the back post or not. But Alyssa Nair did get a palm to it to send it away for a corner.
I think that was a goal, except for Nair getting a bit of a hand to it and putting it wide to the far post. Here it is. Van Sanden takes a shot. Yeah, that's heading for the goal.
Yes, sir.
And Nair comes up with a big save.
Press puts it right into the path of Crystal Dunn. Allie Long scored a moment ago. Long run here for Crystal Dunn, right through the Netherlands defense, and one last cover provided by the Van Luteren to clear it.
Well, this has been Van de Sanden at her best. She's been getting in behind that right side of the United States. But Alyssa Nair, one of her best qualities is how good she is at shot stopping. She got down so quick and was able to knock the ball out of the goal.
Well, when it comes to the attack for the Netherlands tonight, there's not much doubt that the player who's created the most opportunities and the most trouble for the United States from the Netherlands perspective is Shanice Van de Sanden.
And you know, we'll talk about that because right now this U.S. defense isn't going to get faster between now and 2019. And you can see what speed has done to them with Van de Sanden and how she's stretched them.
Van de Sanden has been a finisher for the Netherlands this year with 5 goals. 2 in a friendly against New Zealand in April. 1 in the Olympic qualifying tournament. 1 tonight, also scored in a friendly against Denmark. That was back in January. So 2016 has been a special year for Van de Sanden, who now plays at Liverpool. 23 years old. I think we're finally about to have a change, by the way, and it's Van de Sanden who's coming off. And Linnet Berenstein, 19 years old. This is going to be just her 3rd international appearance, the 3rd cap tonight for Berenstein. Coming on in the 82nd minute, and the first change by Arjen van der Laan, the Netherlands manager. Miedema, Janssen, Berenstein, the 3 players that are part of this Netherlands roster that were part of the UEFA Under-19 champs in 2014.
And of course, the first player she has to deal with is Tobin Heath, who kind of dances around her, dances back to her, around her again, and then fouls her.
And probably worth noting again, Berenstein only 19 years old, and that was getting thrown right into the fire, defending Tobin Heath. Concedes the free kick. Heath on the run up. Good ball in, sent over by the United States.
That was a great run in from Emily Sonnet. She found the near post, one that Julie Johnson has perfected for the United States. And now Sonnet makes a nice run in.
Here's Tobin kind of doing her thing. Berenstein is trying to deal with it. Here's that set piece, and Sonnet redirected it just over the top. That was dangerous.
And you're right, Kat. It is very reminiscent of Julie Johnston. All 8 of her goals coming from set pieces. Her international goals with the United States, I'm speaking of Johnston.
Yeah. And most of those, you're right, are also on the front post. So now what's important for the USA is to manage the game. That doesn't mean sit back. It means possess the ball, look for some opportunities, but manage the game. Because if we look in their recent history, they gave up a late goal to Colombia in the Olympics. They gave up a late goal to Japan in the spring. They need to manage this part of the game.
And this is that leadership, where the leadership comes in the management. Becky Sauerbrunn needs to be vocal back there, telling her team to calm down. And other players like Morgan Bryan and Megan Rapinoe and Carly Lloyd as well.
Alika Martins puts a cross in. Stepping into the header to clear it out was Sauerbrunn. Berenstein was the player in the box for Holland. Rapinoe trying to turn away from Dominic Janssen. She's fouled. Minute, United States a 3-1 lead in this international friendly. This has allowed the NWSL another week for a break, and then next week is the final match day on Saturday and Sunday of this 2016 regular season for the NWSL. On FS1 next Sunday night, Houston Dash, Seattle Reign. So depending on what happens Saturday with Western New York and the Boston Breakers will determine whether or not Seattle is playing for a chance to qualify for the playoffs. Top 4 in the 10-team NWSL go in. Washington Spirit are in and have a chance to win the Shield. Portland-borns are in, and they have a chance to win the Shield if Washington Spirit trips up on the road to Chicago Red Stars, who happen to be the third-place team and headed to the playoffs for the NWSL.
Well, and I love the fact that it's coming down to the last games of the season for all of these teams. That makes it exciting, and it shows you that the league just keeps getting better and better.
Sam Buis just came on for the United States. Also for the Netherlands, Tessel Middag is in. Her club in England is closing in on winning the English WSL. Manchester City, they can win next week if they're able to get a result against Chelsea, as they're 7 points clear with 3 matches left. Middag coming on as the second sub. Sam Buis will complete the changes tonight for Jill Ellis. That's 6 subs now for the United States, as Buis comes on, the 23-year-old who played the first half against Thailand on Thursday. This is her 14th cap tonight, and she's part of that side, the Western New York Flash, that have a chance to qualify for that last spot next weekend, Cap, against the Boston Breakers.
It all comes down to Cap because she's the assistant coach for the Boston Breakers.
No pressure, by the way.
No pressure. No pressure whatsoever.
That game will be on Saturday. So is Washington and Chicago, which determines what could be in play for Portland in terms of the NWSL Shield. Portland will play away to Sky Blue on Sunday. We'll have playoff coverage on FS1 as well for the semifinals and the final for the NWSL. Just as a point of clarification, the semifinals are one-offs. They're not aggregate two-leggers or anything like that. I think the game management that you're wanting to see is happening so far.
Yeah, and Carly Lloyd is upset. She, you know, the Netherlands have played hard, as you would expect. If you know anything about Dutch soccer, they tackle hard, whether it's men or women. And Carly Lloyd is being a star on the world stage, is going to be handled roughly often. She has been. She was a little upset with the refereeing. This is dangerous.
Well, Van Vanendal was off her line, and Tobin Heath with a long-range free kick effort almost capped off her night, which includes an assist, and you could say an assist on the own goal as well, because she was the United States player who bumped the Dutch player Mandy Vandenberg, and the ball went off Vandenberg for the own goal that is the game-winning goal in this match right now. And Heath here on this free kick, we get a look at her opportunity.
Well, and I love it from Tobin Heath to try this. She saw her off her line, she saw her creeping, cheating, trying to win that free kick, and Tobin Heath just went for it.
That was actually good positioning by the goalkeeper, because at the end of it, the end of the day, it was an easy save. But for a moment, it looked pretty dangerous.
Van Lunteren sends it forward. Miedema had a touch. Jelle van der Donk. Given away by the Netherlands. Lloyd looking for Kristen Press. Back pass by Stephanie van der Graaf. 89th minute of this friendly at the Georgia Dome. The 7th all-time meeting between the United States and the Netherlands. Back in 1991, the Netherlands had a 4-3 result. But since then, it's about to be 6 straight wins for the United States, outscoring the Netherlands if this current scoreline holds, 22-2 in those 6 matches. But just to reiterate a point from earlier, the Netherlands are very much an emerging power in Europe, and even though the result isn't what they wanted, they probably got a lot of what they wanted tonight in terms of testing themselves, as we talked about.
It's probably better for them not to have won this game, because then they would think that they didn't have any more else to do.
Yeah.
They've got a lot more to do, but they have the players that I think can get it done. I think they're going to be a force at home next year in the Euros.
they've definitely developed since the World Cup. You can see how dynamic this team can be, and we only saw just a few of the players. That bench is very good as well. And Coach van der Laan said it didn't really matter the result. He wanted to see about the passion and the pride in their country, and I think that they all showed him that they cared about playing in this uniform and being a part of this team and going into the European Championships in less than a year.
And you know, Miedema, who's just touched that ball, hasn't really had a great game. And she's a player that gets time and space, is going to put some goals in. So the reason is because the USA, from about the 40th minute to right now, has played some of their best soccer that I've seen in 2016.
The disappointment of the Olympics, the fatigue factor, the distraction element, all of that was pushed aside from that 30-minute mark, 40-minute mark. The goal came in the 35th minute, and there's another chance here. Crystal Dunn got it on her left foot, pulls the trigger, but it's right into the stomach of Ben Veenendaal.
And they're playing with freedom. They don't have any pressure right now. There is nothing on the horizon for the next year for them, except for just getting better as a team going forward for 2019. And you could see it today. It was fun to watch this team, just how dynamic their movement was on and off the ball.
Well, here's where the pressure is going to come. There's going to be young, talented players either coming out of the league or coming from the U20 World Cup USA players that are going to challenge these. And this is how you keep growing as a player, is you know you got to keep getting better or somebody's going to bypass you. It's a good place to be for the USA. Obviously, they wanted to do better in the Olympics, but this is I actually thought their Olympic team was better than their World Cup team. And we talked about a couple of things why they didn't win. There was a few more, but this team to me plays a better level of football than we saw here in the second half.
And those under-20s will start that under-20 World Cup in Papua New Guinea. Mallory Pugh is part of that. That will be in November. We're 2 weeks away from the under-17 starting in Jordan. The United States will play Paraguay in the first game of group on October the 1st at the under-17 World Cup in Jordan, and that's a competition that Sam Mewis was a part of in 2008. Crystal Dunn as well. Alyssa Nair was part of the 2008 under-20s.
Along with Alex Morgan and Megan Klingenberg.
You coached that team?
Team that I coached. We won the World Championship in Chile. Kelly O'Hara was part of that team for a long stretch.
Those are important competitions for those young players that you're talking about getting funneled up in toward the senior national team and opportunities there.
Right, Mark, but it isn't enough. You need to have a strong league. Otherwise, you're saying if you don't make a youth national team and then follow it up with a full national team, your career is over. And the league is incredibly important. Abby Wambach came from the league. Heather Mitz came from the league. Shannon Box came from the league. Look what Crystal Dunn has done with her play last year in the league. So those are the two things that you have to have. The NWSL is incredibly important for the future of this team.
And don't forget about players like Sydney LaRue and Amy Rodriguez. They were out this year for being pregnant. They're going to be coming back into this mix as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
Competition. Competition's great for development.
Every coach loves that. Every coach loves that at every level, Tony. I'm preaching to the choir right now. Allie Krieger with a touch. Stoppage time is winding down here at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta any second. We expect to hear the whistle of Crystal Sobers and bringing about an end to this very competitive, well-played, hard-fought international friendly tonight between the United States and the Netherlands. Sauerbrunn with a touch. Forward to Tobin Heath. Heath assisted on the first goal tonight. Allie Long scored in the second half, sandwiched in between an own goal of Netherlands defender Mandy Vandenberg. The Netherlands scored in the second minute tonight. An unusually lengthy amount of stoppage time, but now that's it. Crystal Sobers blows for time, and it's a 3-1 final tonight for the United States at the Georgia Dome over the Netherlands. Carly Lloyd had the first. Allie Long had the third. Sandwiched in between was the own goal of Mandy Vandenberg. And in the second minute, Shanice van de Sonden had the only goal of the night for the Netherlands. In 2016, the United States is now 18 wins and 3 draws. And next up will be friendlies, 2 of them in late October against Switzerland in Salt Lake City and Minneapolis.
Player of the match for me, Carly Lloyd. And, you know, she just continues to grow as a player. And I think Kat, Alyssa Nair, passed a big test today.
Yeah, she really did. And I love the response from this team. They went down a goal and they were unfazed. They grew into the game extremely well. They played to the pressure that the Netherlands gave them, and they played so well together. They moved well on and off the ball. They just, like you said, Tony, earlier, they started dominating this game from about the 35th, 40th minute, and they just never stopped the rest of the game.
And give credit to Jill Ellis, because I think in the locker room, she said, this isn't our standard. We have a standard that we have to play to. Let's do it in the second half.
And they did do it in the second half. It was 1-1 after 45 minutes, but 2 second-half goals provide the difference. And a very entertaining and competitive friendly tonight between the United States and the Netherlands. Here's one more look at the Allie Long goal that led to the final scoreline, 3-1 to the U.S. over the Netherlands.